Yeah. Miss Sutton? Miss Sutton? Yeah. Break it. Yeah, they got the every time they do it a little different. Maybe you do it wrong. I'm looking back. Nah, you get it.
No, they didn't do my presentation. It sounds like they were like really. Because of this, I'm like. Not again. Everyone died.
Everyone, please be seated.
You're on fire. And it didn't.
Oh, yeah. A lot of times. Like, I do. Shut up. I'm surprised that were like a half. I know. They can't rest. I think I can't wait to have
No, I think you're.
All right, sit around.
Big sir.
All right, I'll call the meeting to order at 5:01. Assistant Director, thank you. Could you lead us in the fight song? Okay, let's hear General Brown. Can you close the door, please? When I move to a roll call. President Colbert. Vice President Edwards.
Present.
Treasurer Correa.
Present.
Chief of Staff Moody.
Present.
Director Willem.
Present.
Director Dayton. Johnson, I'm sorry. Director Cunningham. Assistant Director Battle. Director Dickens. Assistant Director Chiore. Director Ramos. Director Sato. Director Daxman. Assistant Director Sutherland. Director Brown. Assistant Director Sutter. Director Clark. Director Howard. Assistant Director Onwonga. Director Pickney. Director Randia. Assistant Director Coleman.
Present.
Director Malosh. Director Carr. Director Representative James. Representative Amsalu. Representative Thompson.
Present.
Representative McCauley. Representative Hospitt. Senator Appleworthy.
Present.
Senator Bell. President. Senator Brown.
Present.
Senator Dangle. Senator Dobbin. Senator Hammond. Senator Hicks. Senator Ekpe. Senator McGuire. Senator Washington. Senator Adansoye. Senator Ozomalon. Senator Ryan. Senator Robinson. Senator Sedgwick. Senator Washington. Senator White. Senator Crosby. Senator Gager. Senator Omar. Senator Robinson.
President.
Senator Todd.
Present.
Senator Ware. Senator Wergu. Justice Adenica. Justice Brown. Justice McNeil. Justice Montalis. And Justice Bianco. Thank you. We're now moving to the approval of the minutes. Per usual, and here's. Then the Johnson Municipal Call. Are there any amendments to the agenda? Hearing none. We're now moving to guest speakers. Today we have the Director of the Transportation. I apologize. The microphone died. I was wanted to say your name. Ms. Pamela Rudy.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much for the opportunity to come speak with you. What I wanted to do real quick is go over what we do, what our services are, and then open it up to you all if you have any questions. Okay. Parking and transportation includes the parking operation. We're responsible for making sure we have a safe environment on campus and that we're efficiently using the spaces that are available. And those of you who have purchased permits have a space available to you and you're not losing a space to somebody else. Okay. Parking is a self-support. Anybody know what self-support means? Yeah, there you go. We make our own money. Basically, there's multiple revenue sources that the university has: tuition, fees, charges for using a particular service and state funding. We do not get any of your tuition money to run the parking operation. We don't get any of your fee. We get a small amount of fee money. The vast majority of the money to run our operation and parking is generated primarily from permit sales. Basically, those of us who use parking are the ones that pay for parking. Same as those of you who do dining, you pay for the dining services. It's not spread out across everybody. Housing, same thing. So that's where your permit fees come from, is in order to generate enough revenue to cover the cost of parking. One of the biggest costs in parking that most people don't know about is the garages. When we build those garages, we actually borrow money from the state. They sell bonds to the general public and lend us the money. One of the things I always like to sort of throw out to people when they're talking about the parking and the expense is how much a garage costs to build. The last garage that we built was West Village, 1,500 space garage. It was built about 10 years ago. Anybody want to take a quick guess at what the cost was? Somebody be bold. 5 million? 30 million? You're pretty good. Most people are way off and will say, maybe it's $1 million. Remember, 10 years ago, things were a lot less expensive, and that is not a fancy garage. $27 million to build that garage. There's 4 garages on campus. The Union Garage is the only one paid off. Wow. Okay. So that's where most of your permit money goes to. We have roughly a $6 million budget in the parking operation. Over 4 million of that is paying off the debt. It's basically a mortgage payment that we have to make. Okay, so we're not getting extra money, making a whole lot of revenue. The next big expense that we have is payroll, and then we have to maintain all the parking resources. The garages, again, they're expensive to build, they're expensive to maintain. We generally do $500,000 to $750,000 in renovations each year. Okay, we don't charge any more than we absolutely need to. I don't want to pay any more than I have to. If it makes you feel better, the president pays for parking. Okay, everybody pays for parking, even the police. All right, a couple things that we've done recently. You've probably seen the gates that went in this summer. That was in response to the situation that we had last winter, I think, on campus. The unfortunate situation. So the gates were put in an effort to help make the campus a bit safer, that in the evening hours, that the only people that are able to really get into the garages are those in the campus community. The outside community doesn't need to be on our campus late at night. So that's what the purpose was of the gates that went in. All right. Anybody has one card, they can get access as long as it's an active one card. Please remind people, we have some people their one cards don't work. A lot of times what it is that they've actually replaced their one card and then they found their old one. Each card you get technically has a different number to it and encoded in the mag stripe. So if you're finding that your card isn't working, you might want to double check, make sure it's not an old card. All right, that if you did get a replacement one, that's the one that you want to use. The other project that we're working on this semester as a pilot is the counter system in the Towson Town Garage. Everybody seen it? Okay. What that is it's a pilot program that we ran for October. It will actually end this week. And it has counts of cars that are going in and out of the core commuter areas of the garage. And those counts are displayed of empty spaces on the signs, one at each entrance. The intent is to give you an idea of how many spaces are available. Do you want to go into that garage? Is there enough spaces? Fortunately, knock on some wood again. This year we have been great with parking. We are not filling up anywhere. So the counters have shown that we always have at least 150 spaces, even at our highest peak. So the counter system is pilot. See whether or not you all are interested in using it. You feel that it is beneficial to you. We will have a survey out next week You'll see a TU today about it. Please encourage people to give their input to decide whether or not we want to maintain it and expand it out to the other garages. While it's not an extremely expensive system, where do we get our money from to pay for systems? Right. So that's one of the things we want you to be a part of the process and the feedback of, do you think it's worthwhile to have that system in place? Okay. All right, the other area that we do is the shuttle program is under the transportation side of the organization. Shuttle program, the priority is to get students in particular to class on time and to safely get around the campus. Our services that we have, we run the on and off campus shuttles. We do paratransit. What that is for people who have mobility issues. They can utilize that in order to get to wherever they're going easier. If the regular shuttles are too difficult, we do have the paratransit. We also operate Safe Ride in conjunction with the police department. And what that is that runs in the evening, and we run regular routes around the campus until 2 o'clock in the morning. And then from 2 o'clock until 7 a.m., because there's so little demand, we go what we call an on-call basis. You can call up. Calls actually go through the police department and ask for Safe Ride. And what they'll do is the police dispatcher will let our staff know, and that's run by a vendor right now. Connect buses, the red buses that you see late in the evening, they will pick you up at a certain location and take you to a location versus running a loop. Okay, so that's a safety aspect that we have on campus. We also do charters, and I know SGA to a certain extent, you'll do different trips and events. We will either coordinate that with an outside vendor, or if we can, we'll use our TU buses. We don't always have an extra drivers and buses, but we do provide those services as well. The last area that is under the transportation is postal services. We just reorganized about a year ago, and postal services was moved in with transportation. They're one of the sort of odd ducks. They don't really quite fit anywhere, but it's transportation. We're moving people, we're moving things. So transportation now has the postal services that's responsible for doing the delivery and pickup of packages and everything across the campus, in particular for the students. We've transitioned, the world transition, that they do about 90 to 95% of what they're moving around is packages. Snail mail, as it's finally known, we have very little of that. So that's what their services are that they provide. Shuttle is student fees. So you guys are paying for that as well, but that is spread out across the entire campus so that anybody that wants to be able to use that. So that's what operates and funds the shuttle program. Okay, quick overview of everything. So at this point, I want to open it up to any questions that you all may have. You want to?
Yes, I believe.
There you go.
Hello, thank you for coming. I just have a question. So what is your procedure for lost one cards? So if a student loses their one card and they're trying to get into one of the garages at night, what do you all advise the students to do? Because SGA has been having concerns coming to our email about that as well.
So a couple of things on that. One, when we were putting the system in August, we're sort of scrambling. Everybody's telling me we're trying to get the system in. Like most systems, we had some hiccups with it in the beginning. In particular, we had file feed issues during that time. More recently, we haven't had as many issues. But that said, either somebody's going to have a bad card, system may not read it right or whatever. Each gate entrance has an intercom and a camera that goes back to the police department. So if the card's not working, they need to hit the button for the intercom. If somebody at the dispatch will answer that at the police department, they'll ask you some questions, what's your ID, what's your address, things like that, to make sure that you are a campus community member, and they can remotely bend the gate and open it up for you. Okay? If you routinely are finding that your card is not working, you may want to go to the business office, which is located in the West Village Commons, to switch out your card. Like I said, if you've gotten a replacement card, your most current card is the one that's active. The replacement one, because I know a lot of students will find their old cards before after they've gotten it replaced, and they're like, oh, I'll just use this. When it comes to the gates, it won't work. Okay, so keep that in mind as well. But yes, the police can bend the gate remotely if they need to.
Senator Ross.
I was wondering if you had any plans for transportation next semester, especially concerning the uptown route.
Okay, so the uptown route, which I assume what you're asking about is that we're no longer doing it. Okay, so one of the things that we did last year, and some of you may have been here long enough through the pandemic and everything, that we did a parking and transportation consulting project. And part of what that project was to look at how we approach parking and where we have people parking in support of trying to cut down on too much demand in particular garages, because people come in, wouldn't be a space. That's part of where the pilot for the counters came in, wouldn't be a space. We've looked at, do we disperse the demand for parking in a different manner? In order to do that, it means we have to have some level of people up at the stadium. The stadium people, we want to make sure that they can get back to the campus. Okay, so during that consulting project, we looked at everything, including the routes. And one of the things was the shuttle would be supported. We have a lot of difficulty getting CDL drivers, commercial drivers. There's very, very few of them out there. You probably see all the lower ed, they're cutting routes right and left. Well, we suffer the same thing because there's less and less of them available. So one of the things that we looked at is, again, it's your money that we're spending, okay, to run the shuttle program. We're trying to be as efficient as we can about things. And what we've done is we've looked at the routes and said, all right, what routes have very few people on? Is it good use of your money to run a route that only has maybe 6 or 8 people on it? And we had a couple of those, and Damon was one of them, so we cut that. The other thing is, we don't want to duplicate services. Again, we're spending money when the services are there. Most of you may or may not be aware that the Baltimore County Loop, anybody heard about that? Okay, Baltimore County Loop started this year, and that is run by Baltimore County. And what they have done is they've got 2 routes that they run. One of them runs up and down York Road. And so they were literally running the same route that we were running. The big difference on it, we didn't have tons of people on that route. It was one of our heavier ones, but they run from 6 a.m. in the morning until midnight. We were running from 7 until 10:30. Okay. And they've got multiple buses on it. So you can get 10 to 15 minute service versus a 30-minute service. So it didn't make sense to duplicate the services and spend that money. So we're not, at this point, we're not looking to add that back in because the loop is out there.
If there is high enough demand to bring back the uptown route, would you consider it?
We really have to look at, like I said, the duplicate services. If the loop is running pretty much empty, which right now they're not getting tons of people on it either, then is it good use of your money? We won't say no to anything, that we will look at stuff. And we certainly, if there was enough demand and maybe we need to do more marketing about the loop, we can certainly look at it. We are monitoring things to see where they're going. We had last year, of course, the first post-pandemic year. Ridership is down across the nation. So if things pick up enough, if we see that Loop really isn't doing it, then yes, we would potentially consider it.
Yeah, I think regarding the loop, that's also something SGA can work collaboratively with you all on. Because like you said, it exists. Students can get there still if need be.
Yep.
But I think it's just a matter of us all doing a better job of making students aware that even exists. So
Fantastic comment. Anything that we're doing, the more you guys can help get the word out, like the survey next week and everything. But yes, the loop's out there, and the loop is free. Okay, you don't have to pay for it.
Georgia coming in.
But isn't the difference with the loop in Tiger Town? Don't we ride with like local people? Like anyone can ride on the loop, right?
historically, yes. Reality is, whether people really want to admit it, for college town. The vast majority of people are going to be the students, but yes, it is open to anybody in the area.
Do you think that's like a safety concern though, because since we do ride with like other people, like in the Baltimore area?
The loop isn't really going far into the Baltimore area. Safety concerns, and the gentleman could probably address it better and everything. There's always potential for things to happen. But I haven't heard of any issues. I can tell you that most buses, and I don't know 100%, but I'm 99% sure, they have radio communications, they have cameras on the buses and everything, and I haven't heard of any issues that they've had. If that occurs, then yes, that would be probably more of a reason if there were issues and incidents that we'd say, maybe we don't want to be having this cross. Okay.
Director Johnson.
Hey, I know we talked a little bit a few weeks ago. How much, and we talked about this, but how much do you think it would cost to run a route? How much do you think it costs to operate one?
Quick and dirty math, a route, one shift is about $50,000. By the time you pay the driver, because you have the driver, their regular wages plus benefits, you have the fuel, you have the maintenance that goes with it, and then the overhead sort of goes with whether we're running 1 or 20. But the quick and dirty figure that we use is about 50,000. So if you're running a day and evening shift, you're looking at $100,000.
Thank you.
Justice Marbury.
I think some of the concerns that students have been having is that they do know that the loop exists, it's just not equivalent to the stops that they were on the York Road and Fairmont route that went uptown. So for example, that one road around campus, like it would pick you up at the Union or like common stops on campus versus the loop. It has just like many stops that are like farther than the York Road and Fairmont route.
So what I believe you're referencing is that the loop on the week, or the buses that we ran on the weekend, we had a combination of, they served the main campus as well as went up there. Is that?
Yeah, I mean, like the main campus routes were like assisting to students all around campus versus the loop, it just stops like somewhere like on like, York Road. It's not really
Right.
servicing the whole campus, because that's why students are not really taking the loop as well, because you have accessibility. So like if you live in West Village, you would have to walk all the way across campus to take the loop.
You don't have to walk. There is the gold route that runs. And so we have our on-campus route. The gold route in the evening runs the entire campus. And you can ride that up to one of 2 points, either at Newell, where the loop stops at Burke and York, and the loop also stops at Egberth. So usually in a transit environment, there is some transfers that go on. So what people should be doing is riding the on-campus bus up to that area, and then they're very close to catching the loop versus walking. We're not encouraging anybody to walk at night. That's why we run the on-campus routes until 2 o'clock in the morning. We have very little ridership late in the morning or early in the morning, but we do continue to run them, and then after that, we do have the safe ride. Right, so.
Okay. Is there like any collaboration that Towson Transportation can have with the loop to add more stops? Because I know having like to transfer buses could be kind of a hassle for some students, which is why they relied on the York and the Tiger and Farm route.
We do work with the county, and when this process, quite frankly, has been like a 20-year process. When we got closer, when they started it up this year, it's been aggressively being discussed and planned the past probably 3 to 4 years. And so there was conversations about where those routes were going to run. And they've elected from the loop to only run the 2 routes. If things go well with the loop, there is plans to be doing all kinds of other expansion. The county, the state, university is involved in having conversations, but not necessarily directing. They're looking at doing like hubs uptown and in areas where Airbus, and we'll have our buses feed to where those connectors are. The loop will go there, the regular MTA routes that'll go there, so that people can take and come into one location, and if they want to catch TU, get the TU, they catch this bus. If they want to go to another place, they catch the MTA. Unfortunately, that stuff doesn't happen right overnight. The loop is not intended to be a campus bus. So I don't see them extending and running our campus because it's meant to serve the entire community. Okay.
Sarah, you good?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Are you?
Pretty good. I had a quick questions, asking for your opinion. So as far as like in the near future, do you believe that, the price of parking permits will go higher or lower? Just because I feel like there was a bit of drastic change, like I think it was like 120 the bus from last year to this year.
Good question. Again, that goes back to our consulting project. And I always say in the parking world, people will say, well, what does everybody else do? And I say they do from A to Z and everywhere in between. A lot of parking operations is based on the community, the goals, just the atmosphere, whatever the campus culture is, okay? One of the things that we have historically in the past, our parking has been the approach of you get a permit while we have designated areas for faculty staff versus commuters or residents. You can park in any of the places that were in your classification, okay? When they did the survey and they did the consulting project, and for those of you who were not here, part of that consulting project was outreach. We had a lot of open forums that everybody could come to. We specifically went to different groups, SBA being one of them, to get their input. We did a survey afterwards and said, okay, this is sort of what we're really starting to narrow down to. What's the campus feedback on permit rates, whether or not we should assign people to a specific area? And one of the approaches that was decided on with support of the campus, because most people wanted it, was to have a combination of rates, in particular for students, based on usage. Okay, so what you saw a change in faculty staff rates, some people's theirs went up, but it was more of a realignment. Most people, it did not go up. For the student side, what was done is under the premise of those who use the resources the most, pay the most. So resident rates went up significantly. They pretty much have their cars here 24/7. We can use a commuter space 2 to 3 times a day with different students. So the decision was made, instead of having the same rate, the residents would pay a higher rate. Commuter students who wanted to be on core campus and were eligible would pay the next highest rate, because then you had a proximity piece that comes into play. And so they pay the next higher rate. The rates did not go up for commuters. Then we also put in another level for convenience, basically, which was if you elected to or you were assigned to the stadium lots, the overflow areas, freshman commuters have to park in the overflow. That's part of cutting down on the demand on the prime spots on the campus. It gets about 500 people out of the mix because we can't put everybody on campus. So if you're assigned or you elect to, you can actually park up in the stadium lot and either walk or take the shuttles for roughly half of the cost of core commuter. So other than residents, rates either stayed the same or went down. Okay. When it comes to rates, what is normally looked at in the world of parking, go back to self-support, okay? That's where we get our money. So if our costs go up, we need to generate that money someplace. Fortunately, a lot of times it's through permits. We try not to take them up any more than we absolutely need to, but a lot of it depends on cost. And we have all the increases that have been put in place recently with payroll and all, so that raises their cost. Spread it out over enough people, it usually isn't too bad. So do I think they'll go up significantly next year? No. Do I guarantee that they won't go up at all? No, I can't do that at this stage, but if they do, they usually will not go up much. Typically, we do, if we do increases, it's usually about 4%. So when you're looking at 4% on, say, a core, $380, 84, 86. 4% is not a huge amount of money, right? But if we don't have to raise rates, we're not going to. We have no desire to do that.
Thank you.
Senator Carly.
So it's a two-part question.
Man.
Why doesn't the university contribute to the parking department or transportation department? And is it like a state limitation or is it the university limitation to 2021?
Good question. The university does contribute to the transportation. I said that comes from your student fees. That's where that money is generated. Student fees cover a lot of support services, shuttle, a lot of what facilities, the cost of there. So that's where a lot of your student fees go to, okay? The parking side, the reason none of the state money, remember the biggest income is your tuition and then your fee money. We do get a little bit of fee money to balance out the parking, but not much. We do not get any tuition money. We do not get any state money. When I talk about state money, for you, those of you who are in-state students, you're paying about half of what an out-of-state student pays, right? Does everybody know why that is? Correct. So, in essence, the cost of a degree really is closer to what out-of-state students pay. That's the cost to do your education. But when you're in the state, Maryland's not unique. When you're in the state, you, me, mom, dad, everybody else, we have that nice little thing called taxes. And one of the things that taxes go to are higher and lower education. So basically, roughly half of your education cost is covered through taxes. Many moons ago, the state made a decision as taxes were having to go up and there's less money and everything. They made a decision that parking was a service and that they were no longer going to use state funds or tuition money to support the parking. So it is a state restriction on it.
And then just a second question, you had mentioned that, you know, parking, like we aren't really close to overfilling garages and things like that. Have you guys considered opening up, even if it's just a limited amount of parking spaces to freshmen, just to not fill garages, but get more people in there?
We have it this year, because this is the first year we made these massive changes in where people, what the cost is going to be. We didn't know with the reduced rate in the stadium area, how many upperclassmen who have an option would make a decision to pay less but won't. Reality is we don't have a whole lot that have done that, so we weren't really sure what the dynamics were going to be. We didn't want to create a situation where we overfilled the garages, because prior to the pandemic, we did fill the garages. I'm sure you all know that the enrollment is down, which means our demand for parking is down as well. So last year, it's like, all right, is this just the first year post-pandemic or what's going to be the trend? So after we have run through this year, we'll look at their stuff. And we have talked about maybe opening it up once we settle down to maybe let some other people come on campus, onto the main campus. So we are considering that. but we don't want to create a situation where, all right, we let a bunch of other people on campus that normally wouldn't be, and now we don't have enough space.
Okay, so just in the interest of time, we accept two more questions. This movie's been talking for a while. We have somebody that, the gallery, Mikey.
Thank you. So you were mentioning, the, the costs of operating like the parking and transportation department, how you're not funded by the university. I guess my question is, with, parking fees and everything, considered, does the Department of Parking and Transportation like operate on a break-even model, or do you make a profit off of, like in the end, off of, parking?
We do not make a profit, okay? Remember I said that the garages are very expensive? It's like having a house, and we have 4 big houses that are really expensive to fix. So do we cover our expenses right to the dime and no more? No, we do usually have a little bit of extra money. Then in essence, we bank to build up that account so that when we have a $500,000, $1 million renovation that needs to be done, we've got some of that money back. It's not really profit. It doesn't go back to the university. It stays and covers the expenses. It may not be exactly for this year. It may go in and help to do renovations for next year. An example is we're going to be renovating, taking down and replacing 2 of the stairs in the Towson garage. Each one of those stairwells to replace and to bring up to current standards and everything, roughly $450,000 just for stairwells.
Okay, thank you.
Last question, Senator McGuire.
I guess my last question is, what is the parking and transportation map is part of the master plan for the next 10 years?
It's a big question. Maybe the biggest one in the end, huh? We are involved with the master plan, okay? We work closely with facilities. Facilities works with us. Facilities is actually working on, they have a current consulting project going on right now. It just started recently, which is a transportation plan that they're doing the consulting on. They are looking at how the bike path comes in, how the traffic flows around here. They will be looking somewhat at how we feed in from a shuttle standpoint and then through the loop and what have you. It's all part of the bigger plan, and sustainability is a huge part of it. You may or may not know that a lot of the state regulations and federal regulations call for all state vehicles to be electric by a certain date. So we're looking at all that. So that looks at our fleet for the shuttle. We have our smaller buses. We have 3 that are hybrids. We have 3 more we're converting over to hybrids this year. So we are very much involved with that because behind buildings, transportation, whether it be the shuttles or your own cars, is the next big carbon producer. So yes, it is definitely part of the overall master plan and being looked at for the long range of how do we get where we need to.
Well, thank you.
Thank you all very much. I appreciate your time, and I've met with several of your representatives throughout the semester, and I'll tell you the same thing I told them. If you have questions or you just want to come in and talk or whatever, I'm more than happy to meet with you. I would much rather get you the information and explain to you what we do, why we do it, and things versus you saying, oh, this is crazy that they're doing this. So I'm more than happy to meet with you. If not, get with your representatives and they can come meet with me and get the word out. All right, thank you. Have a good night.
All right. Is there any other participation or students? All right, hearing none, we'll now move into communications. Advisory remarks.
Happy Tiger Tuesday. Just one report today. So the student activities office is going to host a leadership like a day-long leadership program in January. So the Saturday before school starts, which I believe is the 28th. You have to check the calendars. It's called Catalyst. It is run by the Leadership Organization. Has anybody been here when Leadership was a thing? No, one or two? Okay. So the Leadership Organization, they actually run multiple leadership programs, not just leadership. That 7-day program. So Catalyst is a 1-day program. We are trying to recruit anywhere between 40 and 60 students to come dig deep and make a plan for their leadership journey at Townsend. Hopefully it'll be the catalyst, the program, for that learning and for that engagement. It is free for students to attend. It is mostly a full day of programming. We will feed you. The sign up is live on Involve It TV. So if you're interested, please sign up. To me, it seems like the SGA student is the perfect person to be involved in a program like Catalyst. And I yield.
Point of personal privilege.
Appropriations Committee,
No report.
Government Operations Committee,
No report.
Rules Committee. No report. President Colquitt.
Good evening, everybody, and happy Tiger Tuesday. Just a few quick updates. First off, there are a few absences this evening, so I just want to wish good energy and health over everybody. Make sure you're taking care of yourself as you kind of transition in the season and things like that. I know a couple of people are sick, so just, yeah, take some time to do what you need to do to make sure you're well. And then also I want to say thank you to Vice President Edwards for organizing this meeting to come. I think that was a really good and needed discussion. These are some of the work we've been doing. So today, Vice President Edwards and I met with the University of Maryland SGA to advise them on some of our programming that they want to do. And we also discussed some initiatives we want to push through the other 12 USM institution schools and eventually Big 10 schools as well by way of Indeed. We also, my work on the campus Hunger Task Force will be hosting an event November 14th from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. in University Union 302E. And the event is a TU community conversation, becoming a home with the campus. So again, excited to be doing that work to address food insecurity for students on campus. I also sent the resolution 14 regarding course syllabus updates to the academic senate. They'll be voting on that in their November 7th meeting. And I did reach out to see if those meetings are public and open to so that we can get some SGA participation. But at the very least, Vice President Edwards and I will be in attendance there. And then just before member of the week, one General Assembly reminder. General Assemblies begin at 5:00 p.m. That means we all should be in our seats, seated, ready to begin the meeting. No phones, no talking, like ready to get to business. I do understand like classes and things like that, but just make your best effort to get here on time. And with that, I'll get into our member of the week. This one, I met this member actually tabling. I didn't even know they were in SGA. I was just at the SGA tabling when they showed up. I was like, oh, wow, you're in SGA too? And so we kind of met. It was like the first week of school. But really, since they've joined, or one of those beginning weeks, but since they've joined, they've been really hands-on with tabling within their department and externally through all of our events and stuff. So congratulations to Assistant Director Trio. Just one final reminder, timesheets this week are due Thursday by 10 a.m. because of the holiday next week, 11/11. Anybody knows what holiday that is? Not only is it Veterans Day, but it's also my birthday. So. Timesheets are due this week by Thursday at 10 a.m. So with that, speaking of birthdays, we also have a very special birthday this week. So join me in wishing Advisor Harris a very special happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Taylor. Happy birthday.
Thank you all. Are there any questions? With that, I yield. Treasurer Correa.
Happy Tuesday, everyone. So just a few updates about me. Yesterday, on Monday, I had my first set of FAC meetings, which are Financial Advisory Committee meetings. I met with about 12 student boards and just gave them feedback if they submitted initial budget so that they can work on their final budget submission. So those went well. I also have them Thursday from 12 to 3 and this Friday from 12 to 2. If you guys would like to stop by, it does get pretty boring and they're gonna have some free time. So feel free to like make me company and you're working there with me. So yeah, they will be in University Union 207 if you would like to stop by. And with that, I yield.
Attorney General Controller.
Hey, how y'all doing? Hope you're having a blessed day. Thank you. Like President Colquitt mentioned, General Assemblies starts at 5 p.m. So let's make sure we're here on time and wearing the correct uniform. But with that being said, let's make sure to come to pre-meeting on time too at 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Liberal Arts. And with that, I yield.
Chief Booty.
Happy Tiger Tuesday, everyone. So I just have a couple of announcements. So I just want to remind everyone about the retreat dates again. They're January 21st to the 22nd. Next week, I will be releasing a form to state whether or not you'll be coming or not. It is going to be yes or no. It's not going to be a maybe. And then we'll finalize counts early December. But just make sure that you all are preparing for that date. If you would like anything to be included in the weekly emails, please let me know by Sunday. Also, Bigs and Little selection is next week. So you'll be notified of who your big or little is next week. So this week, we'll, me and Treasurer Craig will be dropping the form for your suggestions and also this the get to know you form. And then last but not least, I just want to make a comment about attendance at SJ events. Make sure all are prioritizing SJ events, making sure you all are tabling and coming out to community service.
Department of the Affairs.
Hello, everyone. Really quick, I finished the survey. Woo woo. I'm just waiting for approval and then that will be out. I hope to do some tabling, maybe some like food incentive to get some results. But I'm really excited because the data that I'll be getting, like the results, will really help me represent the student body well regarding academics. And I'm also meeting with the provost again next Tuesday before GA. So in my communications, I'll give you a quick rundown of all that we talk about. Any questions? Great, and with that, I yield.
The campus activities. Senator Ware, keep next mic.
So some things Cal just wants to emphasize, they're doing a collab week, November 14th to the 19th. It will be all in the CAB office. If you don't know what that is, it's University of 4, all from 5 to 6 p.m. Monday is ASL lesson with, the ASL club, and Tuesday we'll talk with Bettering Black Minds. Wednesday is Entrepreneur Her. I can't see the club exactly, but they'll also have the post on their Instagram as well. Thursday is Stroll Off with all the Greek organizations strolling. Friday is wasted with youth sustainability, and then Saturday is Noche with Lasso. I'm sorry if I'm saying that correctly. As well as Wednesday, their general meeting will be me time where they'll be giving out just like spa stuff, fuzzy socks, just self-care items. Any questions about the events I just knew? With that, you.
Engagement.
Sorry, that was loud. All right, so party to the polls went very, very well. We had over 150 participants. I want to give a special thank you to everyone who assisted me. That day was a little stressful. I'm sure you all saw me like running around 20 different places. So thank you if you did tabling for the events or anything. I really do appreciate it. The election night watch party and the election is next Tuesday. So election stuff is happening all day. I'm sure you'll see some tabling stuff going on, just directing you to the polls. If you need help getting there or just need to know where it is, it's in the South Campus Pavilion near the Secchi Arena. Me and President Colquitt had the honor, well, not really the honor. We went up there a few days ago just to check it out. That was very nice. But the event itself is from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. I may need some assistance in just checking people in, but you guys should be there anyhow, so I'm sure that won't be an issue. There will be food provided, so please look forward to that. I had a meeting with Director Thaxton and Heather Blonsky of the Civic Engagement Department to discuss our role in Tiger Friday. If you would like to talk about more about that, we can do that. And then this Thursday, I will be hosting the pre-meeting on waste management. So, bless you. Wow. But yeah, this Thursday I'll be hosting the pre-meeting on waste management. I hope you'll be there. With that, questions? Okay, Dave.
Representative James.
One person of privilege.
Great. Department of Communications.
Happy Tiger Tuesday, everyone. So shadow and exec member will be this November for the whole month. And basically it's just a cloud I'm doing with the exec boards, and students will be able, student body will be able to come in one day per week and just see what the exec board members do. They'll be able to attend GAs, any meetings that they have that week and things like that. Food will be provided. So if you know anyone, just let them know if they're interested. And it'll just be a good way also to see what SJ does if they want to join, next semester or even next year. Also, me and Aiden Pinckney, we've been doing weekly posts that we're starting. So we're going to have Motivation Monday, GA Reminder Tuesday, Guess That Member Wednesday, Song of the Week Thursday, Recap Friday, and Spotlight Sunday. Spotlight Sunday is just basically be just legislation that's going around campus or just anything that's going around that students may not know of. And the suggestion box will be in the office tomorrow. With that, is there any questions? Okay, with that,
Department of Community Outreach.
Happy Tiger Tuesday, everyone. As you all know, we had our first off-campus volunteering last Saturday and with success. Thank you, everyone who came out for that. And this week, we also have a community service opportunity. It's on Saturday from 11 to 1. It's at Senator Robinson's church. And food there will be food, also transportation will be provided. The bus is gonna be here at 10:30, I think, around the Union. And if you're interested in that, please let us know in advance so we can work something out. Also, we're gonna have a community outreach table in the Union on November 16th. It's gonna be to celebrate International Education Week. So basically, we're gonna have everyone. It doesn't have to be international student, like draw their flags, right? If you were about their countries, and then we're gonna send it to hopefully John Hopkins Children's Center, and then a flyer and sign up trainings for that will be out soon. And that's it. Any questions? Chief.
Can you repeat what day the service hours will be?
For this week, it's on Saturday from 11 to 1. And transportation will be provided, and the next one is on November 16th. It's the outreach table. And that one is not service hour, it's gonna count as office hour. The service hours is for this week on Saturday. Any other questions?
Department of Diversity and Inclusion.
Hi, everyone. Hope you all have a good Tuesday. I don't have any announcements. My first one's just that
in a week and a half, meetings on stuff. Afterwards, we'll be meeting with OIE, working on the legislation about requiring diversity training for faculty and staff. So I'll happen in a week and a half. So if you want like any questions that you want us to request from, you can let me know. And then also, Nancy, you will be 2 weeks from now. The post should be out later this week on the Instagram. So make sure you promote that, and as well as the Google form. So yes, that's pretty much it. Does anyone have any questions for me at all? No, with that, I yield.
Hey y'all, so right now we're finalizing the pre-meeting material with Love in the Trenches. That's gonna be on the 10th. I'm pretty sure that's next week, Thursday, the 10th. We're also working on meeting with Dr. Hurt to talk about the legislation for pre-menstrual products. We did get an update from President Colquitt, but we just wanted to meet up with him again, just introduce ourselves and see if there's been any other progress to that. We also met with Advisor Harris talking about the Title IX legislation that me, Assistant Director Felon, and Senator Geiger are working on. And right now we're working on meeting with the staff for Title IX just to figure out what the policies and the process is for the whole system, and also working with the counseling center to possibly make a support group for sexual assault victims. And lastly, I met with SSP and the counseling center for the de-stress collaboration event that's happening in December. I forgot the specific 14th, 13th, December 13th. So yeah, we're working on room details and also not events, but activities that we want to do. So I'm probably going to ask SGA what you guys think would be a good idea, something that's like new, novel, because there's going to be a lot of activities and it's a big event, so we want to make an impression on the students. Any questions? With that, I yield.
Department of Higher Education.
Happy Taker Tuesday, everyone. Exit for this Friday is unfortunately canceled due to them having a half day, and you know, it also is another special holiday on Friday, Exit for Monday with West Towson Elementary will start this Monday. I spoke with Director Johnstone. He's going to be doing a voting aspect for the elementary school kids, and also if I spoke to you for the Senator demo, please come see me after GA. And lastly, we are also planning events for National Education Week, which is the week of the 14th. And we have collaborations with Representative our first gen representative and also Director Wilson. So yeah, any questions? For that, I yield.
Department of Social Projects.
Happy Tiger Tuesday, everyone. That's an announcement. So I had my fundraiser last week and I was able to raise more $250 in cash and more than $150 through the link that online. So that was a great. I just want to give a big thank you to everyone who came out and helped, from the centers, directors, and assistant directors, Justin. All of them came in and helped and actually donated, and we donated like a lot. So thank you. My second report is that SG Outreach is on November 8th from 12 to 3 in Tiger Plaza. Please, Senator, show up. Okay. Some of you are not showing up and some of you are in the office. Please show up. Thank you.
Apologies, sorry, the part is actually the biggest stuff.
Thank you. All right, happy Tiger Tuesday, everyone. So as Director Johnston mentioned, next Tuesday
is election day, so make sure you're getting out and voting. We have some key races here in Maryland, also Virginia, Pennsylvania, you name it, all over the country. Next up, I had a meeting with Evan Polanski in the Civic Engagement Office. We had a great time talking about their upcoming initiatives and things that I would to help out with Tiger Pride Day. Soon I'll be meeting with University Marketing and Communications to think about how we want to, brand Tiger Pride Day, how we really want to, promote it and give and design the materials that we're giving out to you guys and the lawmakers. So if you have any input on that and like how you want to see Tiger Pride Day branded, please let me know. Lastly, just a quick reminder, Tiger Pride Day is March 1st. So as you're like planning for next semester, please make sure you have that date marked on your calendars. Any questions? Yes.
Is it March 1st, the day we're going on the retreat?
No, that is January 1st.
Something that was on March 1st, right?
What?
I thought something that was on March 1st.
It's Tiger Friday. That's what's on March 1st. Any other questions? All right. With that, I yield.
Department of Marketing. Our board. Department of Student Organization.
Happy Tiger Tuesday, everyone. So just one thing, town hall last week was successful. We got a lot of nice feedback from student orgs and they were all very engaging. Just a quick reminder from the thing that I mentioned in my emails to the senators. Please don't forget to CC me in any of the student org related emails. It's important that I'm in the loop so I know what's going on. And if you have any questions that you can't answer, I can help them answer that. And please make sure you're sending out your weekly emails because if student orgs have any questions, they reach out to their senators first and then me. So please make sure you're doing that. And if you don't have student orgs, don't worry about it. I'll give you student orgs next semester. But any questions? With that, I yield. Good evening, everyone. We just want to say thank you for whoever came and helped set up with our event on Friday. And then other than that, no report.
Maryland Higher Education Representative. Athletic Affairs.
Hi, everybody. I hope you're having a good day. The only thing I have to report is the same thing as last week. I'm going to be sending out a message, hopefully by the end of the week, regarding senior Pride night for the gymnastics teams and the women's basketball team. So if anybody else wants to help, I got one person said they were interested in that. If anybody else is interested, I'm passing out the details. Just let me know. Any questions? Okay, with that I yield.
Free Flight Representative. University Residence Vacant Representative.
Good evening, everybody. So two things. One, on the 11th, from November 11th through the 13th, our University Residence Governance President, along with 8 other members, will join an envoy to the Central Atlantic Association University of College and University Residence Halls conference in Ohio at Kent State. So they'll be attending that. That deals with just residence hall associations type of deals and stuff like that. We work on initiatives, type of things that we want to incorporate in the university that we see from other colleges and stuff like that. So that's something. Also, URG will be hosting a Friendsgiving event in West Village Commons on I believe from 6 to 8. But that will be on November 16th. So please come out to that. This was the first I'm hearing of a Friendsgiving event. So first dibs on that. Like, if you hear any other Friendsgiving event after this, don't go to it. Any questions? And with that, you.
First generation low income representative.
Hi guys, again, I'm just gonna like quickly go over the past week, which is next week, November 7th to the 11th. The sign up genius has been created. I'm just waiting on some confirmation before I can send that out. And we're only gonna be needing volunteers for 3 days out of that week. Only like 1 or 2 people, so if you can help out, that'd be greatly appreciated. Monday will be our scholarship tabling in the union. Tuesday is Gen 1 day, and I really want to push that because Gen 1 has been working really hard on making sure this is a really big event, giveaway, food, music. It's gonna be a good time. It's open to in the union. So if you're in the office, even you can stop by. That flyer will be coming out very soon. CSDO is the flyer. We're just waiting on the confirm few things. Wednesday is gonna be the Let's Talk Money workshop, which is a workshop talking about all money options that you will have. Thursday is just gonna be the actual day where the students can start their FAFSA, and then Friday will be more so a social media marketing thing. You'll be all over the SJ social media. I think you guys participate as well, just including engagement. So yeah, that will be next week. So you'll be seeing my name a lot in the group meet, about my face. Yeah, any questions? With that, I yield.
Assistant Director Damon. Granted. Transfer student representative.
Good afternoon, everybody. Last week we held elections, so congratulations to everybody on our e-board. This week we'll be appointing, chair positions, and in a few weeks we'll have our professional development. Oh, my name is Leah Young. I'm the president of the Transfer Council, so congratulations to me. Like I said, we have a professional development event on November 15th. We're still finalizing those details, so more information to come. Any questions? With that,
Freshman Council representative.
Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Freshman Council just held their chair elections yesterday, so now we have a communications chair and a diversity and inclusion chair. With communications, we're going to be really active on our social media, so if you haven't followed us, please follow us. We introduced a couple new members. Really happy for them. They're great new addition. We love spreading new member love everywhere. Executive board members for Freshman Council have been meeting with SGX Executive Board, so thank you for meeting with us. It's been really helpful for us understanding our positions and just bettering ourselves as a council. We also found out and discussed ways we can improve future events. Our Halloween event was a learning experience, and it was something that we were discussing on how we can do things better, stay the same, just working ourselves. And we just been looking through event planning, legislative ideas. Nothing final yet, but hopefully more to come in the future. Any questions? And with that, I yield.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what's wrong with anything. Roman mentioned.
Hi, everyone. So the swim club hosted their first ever swim meet on the 29th. They had 3 other teams in attendance. The sport club of the month went to figure skating. Our annual food and trilogy drive has started. It ends on, I believe, November 21st. And we've also partnered with the health center to be a collection site for the menstrual product drive. Cumulatively, sport clubs have completed 700.5 hours of community service. This month we had 17 home events and 28 away events. And then a little bit of a shameless plug. If you go to the TU Sport Club Instagram account, on the Instagram story, you can vote for the club that has the best Halloween costume. So please vote for gymnastics. That's it. There you go.
I know it's a bit delayed, but I also just want to congratulate Representative Thompson, who was recognized as Mentor of the Month for City for the month of September.
this looks, you know.
Happy Tiger Tuesday, guys. I don't have much to report. I'm still going over the university policies to familiarize myself with them. And I had a meeting today with our advisor just to further my knowledge of what I should be doing going forward. Any questions? And with that, I yield.
Vice President Marks. How are you guys today? Doing pretty well. So just a couple of things today. So the legislative follow-up that I've been doing with some of the senators, I sent all of the emails that I signed legislation. Thank you to all who responded. And we should meet probably sometime this week to figure out how we're going to further along. Also, President Copeland and I met with the University of Maryland College Park SGA about 9NTU. They recognized our efforts and they want to bring that to their school, as President Copeland mentioned. So y'all see like the work that we do that's get recognized. So just something, a little bit of extra motivation for you all. Weekly reports, please, 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 please do it in an itemized list. So 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. I did this. 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. I did this. Please just do it that way. The legislative tracker timeline, thank you to President for once again. It has been updated and has information on there regarding what we have passed so far this year. So y'all can look at that. Also, I heard the Senate week is approaching, so we're staying for that. And as you know, today is November 1st. That's today is November 1st. So it's going to be a great month for a lot of different reasons. Let's just make this our best SBA month as well. 18 days. But do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? Representative James.
For weekly reports, I thought we were supposed to put like on Monday, we did something for an hour. And then on Tuesday, we did something for 2 hours. It has to be specific time frames.
Well, you can do it like that too.
Oh,
I was trying to give extra options because the report should. That is what they can do. So they're going to be, there's 2 different options. You can do it that way. I know Chief said what he gave. There's a multitude of different trainings. We don't need to do it, but just do it one of those 2 ways. Don't write a paragraph. Don't just say what you did. You need to do the time, the date. Come on. Yeah, I know. Was there any other, okay, and yours is clear, by the way. No, Representative James, great job. And with that, I will, also shout out, thank you, Senator, all right, thank you. Are there any opinions on the court? No opinions.
Okay, so we'll be moving into new business. So this is obviously we're not going to be voting on anything or debating on anything yet. It'll be done similar to last week. So I see that Senator Mark Robinson, you are the sponsor of today's legislation. Is the legislation ready to be questioned today? Yes. Okay. Are there any motions on the board? Government operations track working.
You want me to give them? Give me just stay right here.
I move to question. Resolution number 15.
Okay, is anyone second? Senator Bell? Okay, we now move to a vote on motion to inquiry on resolution number 15. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstaining? Without we now move to inquiry on resolution number 15. Go ahead.
You want me to like talk about it? You can just give like an overview of what the legislation is, or if anybody has a question. Yeah. Okay. So basically to sum it up is I feel as if there is a huge military section part of the Towson campus that whether it's veterans, people actively in the military, ROTC, we have ROTC that I couldn't get in contact with because I don't know where they are. There's Army ROTC. There's a military veterans group, which I'm sure no one knows where it is because it's in a tiny hallway in Hawkins Hall. So I just feel like this large group of people who bring in a lot of money that's Towson's campus and infrastructure deserves an SGA representation. And so I want to make that representation for military affairs students. And this is a change in constitution, so it would have to be voted on next semester. So, yeah. Questions?
Thank you. Anyone have any questions for Senator Robinson? Director Johnson? Someone got a microphone.
What would the goal of this rep be? Would it be to get more education out on military services? Would it be to enhance the military student body in some sense?
There's a lot of different reasons for this, and on my behalf, there's a lot of reservists and National Guards, which is part of the military, who don't even know that they get education benefits. So this is like, as it says on there, we already bring in over $4 million, and this is just more money that Towson could be getting. Also, there's a lot of things that the military veterans office, they have a lot of initiatives that want to get done, but they don't have student representation. Like the office in the Hawkins Hall, they're trying to get office in the unions. There's a section on the bill where it says that a lot of military students want like certain accommodations of like how people should like approach them, or like that accommodations that they don't get or they feel like they deserve, that is on there. Yeah, you can read it, it's down low. They also don't know about a lot of resources that they could possibly get. So it would help them realize what the resources that will be available to them. Yes. Sorry, that was hard.
No, you're good.
Thank you. Are there any more questions for Senator Robinson? Just to be clear, this is not going to be voted on today. It's going to go to class next week. It's going to give you guys basically a brief overview of how the rest of this is going to be before we actually go on the bill next week. Does that make sense to everyone? Okay. If there's no questions for Senator Robinson, you can go ahead and have a seat. Moving on with the agenda, finance bill number 4 is next. So finance bill number 4, I'm deeming this as emergency legislation, and I would entertain a motion to break Senate rules to review the legislation of war on it today. Appropriations share out assignment.
I think that we break Senate law and finance bill.
Okay, does anyone second? Senator McGuire.
I second.
Okay. Now we're gonna move into a vote on reviewing finance bill number 4. All those in favor? Hands up, please. Opposed? Abstaining? With that, we will now begin reviewing finance bill number 4. I see that Senator Adesanya is responsible for this legislation. Could you speak a little bit on it, please?
Hi, everyone. Basically, this finance bill is for ESA week, and they're requesting funds from the.
Speak up a little bit.
They're requesting funds from their own budget for like the events they're gonna have this week. Everybody knows about Tiger. No, not Tiger. Chad karaoke this Saturday. So they're requesting money for that, basically.
Thank you. Treasurer Correa.
I do want to add on that ESA is a student organization who had a judicial appeal, I believe last month, that was approved, which moved them from package 2 to package 4. So that gave them like approval to submit a fall 2022 budget this late in the semester for everyone to vote on, well, the Senate to vote on.
Thank you. Also, if there's anyone that's a part of ESA that would like to speak on behalf of the budget or explain it more in depth, please feel free. Representative Altalu.
Hey guys, I'm the co-president of ESA. So just to speak on behalf of the budget, like sorry, I'm sorry. Like she said, we appealed our package like about a month ago, and being as if we had to appeal so late, everything did get pushed back. We had to send in contracts about this past weekend, which is why the budget kind of came in sort of late, so my apologies on that. If you guys, like,
Yeah, please.
okay, to explain the background, the Mafia Club event already happened. That was with cab. That was about $100, $50 for some of guys. Brazen making event, we used, our own money, but we're gonna get that reimbursed, which is approved. So the $100 of our own money, which we're gonna get approved. Trap karaoke, the reason, we have our account activity is 2,500, and out of that account activity, we're using about $2,050. That's just to pay for all the artists. We have about 10 artists performing, and we are paying about 5 of them, each ranging from $700 to $600 each. And then trap karaoke lighting for ECS is our equipment account, which has about 3,000. We are paying for 3 microphones. Microphones are about $50 each. A projector is $75, and lighting was about roughly $1,000 or a little bit less. There is, if you want the specific number, I can give you that Google Doc and show that.
This is a question. So the 1,007 does not represent the lighting bill currently. Is that what you're saying?
No.
Huh? Okay, thank you. Does anyone have any questions for Representative Alcantara? Senator Brown. Don't give her a mic.
The event is on November 8th, right? November 5th. All right.
Are there any questions regarding this legislation? Supervisor Harris?
Have the contracts or payments already been initiated or processed with Vicky? They're all sent out today. We had to wait for artists to send it back properly because people didn't put the proper first names. But all the contracts have been signed back to us concerning today, and then after GA, once we want to send it back to Vicky. Okay.
Okay, are there any more questions regarding this legislation? Okay, if there are no questions, we'll now move into a vote on finance bill number 4. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstaining? With that, finance bill number 4 has passed. Congratulations. Thank you guys. Good job. Congratulations, Representative Alcantara, Government Operations Draft Working. Are there any announcements? Senator Bell. We'll pass the mic.
Just wanted to make an announcement for Hampton College Democrats. So they will be doing canvassing on this Saturday and Sunday at 10:30 and at 1 p.m. on both days. So if anybody would like to come out and canvass with them for a little bit, just let me know. You all have my group meeting, somebody have another, you want to canvass with, let me know. Yes,
thank you.
Hi y'all. So right now, Menstrual Health Week, starts on the 14th and it lasts until the 18th, but we already have like the menstrual products drive talks like outside the office. So if y'all could just spread the word around, and also there's gonna be one in the library, third floor. So just spread the word around, like for people to donate and stuff. We already have some stuff in the one in front of the SGA office, so thank you for that.
Thank you. Director Sutton.
Hey guys again. You guys, for real, if you're not busy from 11 to 1 on Friday, please be a mentor for Exit. Just help the kids, y'all, for real, like. And also, if you're not busy on Mondays from 2:30 to 3:30, 3 to 4, please help the kids. Just sign up to be a mentor. Thanks. And also, happy birthday to all my November Scorpios. Period.
Director Brown.
Hey guys, Veteran Black Minds is having their annual Damon Black Man's Mind event Thursday, 6:30, from 111. So if you can, please show up, show out, offer your insight, especially all the Black men on the team. Gorgeous. And-
Thank you. Thank you.
Any questions? Thursday. And follow us, BB, and that to you on Instagram.
Again, happy Tiger Tuesday. So I did get confirmation the academic senate meeting is public. It's in a tight room though, so I would encourage you all to come out and participate November 7th from 4 to 6 in LA 4 through 10. That's where we'll be voting on the resolution 14 regarding the core syllabus recommendation that we passed. And then also pre-meeting this week again is a waste management pre-meeting, and just a reminder, as a part of our campaign that we set out to do, we wanted to incentivize and encourage zero waste events. So just come out and let's learn about how we can be encouraging people to do the same thing.
Hey, y'all, just another reminder, timesheets are due this week, so please submit them by Thursday at 10 a.m. Thank you.
Thank you. Representative Gonzalez.
Thank you so much, Mama. Being as the pizza week is this week, we are doing 2 fundraisers. We're gonna be at Chipotle from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. right up York Road, or like right up near Uptown, so come out if you can. As well as Thursday, we will be doing henna, and we're also collaborating with ADC. So I know that it's during pre-meeting, sorry guys, but after pre-meeting, sometimes it ends early, stop by, or if not, you want to get some henna down your hand. Also be on your neck for guys, if that's an option, apparently, I don't know, it was a request. But, yeah, come out for that, and then there's also, as you guys heard extensively, shop karaoke is this Saturday. Doors open at 6 p.m. All proceeds will be going to an orphanage organization in Ethiopia, as well as helping refugees in Eritrea. So, yeah, thank you guys.
Director, excuse me, Senator Brown.
Motion to adjourn.
Is there a second? Senator Sedgwick. Okay, we're now moving to a motion to adjourn. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstaining? That we now adjourn. Thank you.
Real quick, guys, sorry. I just wanted to say something. Muslim Student Association and the Thompson Arab Society, we're gonna be having a game night. Sorry, I'm here. Yeah, we're gonna be having a game night November 3rd. And it's gonna be room 302 in the Union. And we're gonna be having henna, karaoke game, and pizza to come out this week. And it'll be at